Welcome back to the Brothers Grimdark, everybody, and welcome back to this preview of Game 8 in our Blood Bowl Championship. So before we get into the preview, as always, we're going to take a little look at how Game 7 went before that. So if you've not seen Game 7, go check it out now, then come join us back for this video once you've done checking that out. But spoilers coming in now. So Game 7, we saw the Necromantic Horror being piloted by Cameron, his Hilton Howlers facing off against Johnny and his Lizardmen team, the Chillyville Red Dragons. And this game was a dead heat. So both players managed to score a touchdown, ending in a tie. However, Cameron really won the punching fight. At one point in the game, I think that the Lizardmen had two players on the pitch. So he was really out punching Johnny, but with those skinks, there's always the chance that they'll be able to get away and score a touchdown. So he was having to be a little bit cagey with how he played there. So before we get into this Game 8 fixture, we're just going to have a little look at the standings of our two divisions. So in the Grim division, we've got Rowan still sitting on top. He's played 2 games, he's won them both. He's sitting pretty at the top of the table there. Then in second place, we've got Cameron, who has also played 2 games, drawn them both, sitting nicely on 4 points. Then below him, we've got Johnny, who after a loss in his first game, although he did pick up a bonus point and now a draw, he's on 3 points. Then we've got Adam, who's just played the 1 game and is sitting on 2 points with that draw against Cameron. And then in last place, also having just played 1 point, we have got Simon with his gnome team, the Laganalaki Guards. That's how the Grim division is shaping up now. Let's move on to the Dark League. So bottom of the league, we've got me. I've played 2 games and I've yet to score a point with my Goblin. So it's not looking good at the halfway mark of my group stage season. We'll have to see if I can turn that around or not, but not looking great at the moment. Then just above me, we had a draw in our first game. So we've got Greg sitting on 2 points, tied with Dean also on 2 points. Then above them, we have got also tied for first place. We've got Mish, who is sitting on 3 points, having beaten me, and sitting tied with her, we've got Connor, also having beaten me with a win there as well. So tonight is a big matchup. Could see Connor consolidate that win if he can get consolidate that point at the top of the table, if he can get himself a second win, get himself to 6 points. Or we could see a bit of a mix-up if we get a win for Greg and he can boost himself to the top of the table with a win and a draw. So let's get into the teams and see how things are looking there. So we'll start off with the Vampires, the Thirst and Downers. So as you can see, they got quite a lot of SPP in their first game and were able to get a few level ups. So we've got Leader on one of the throwers, very good for a very good skill for Vampires to have. Anything that gives them more rerolls is excellent for them. Then we've got Safe Pass, so that Vampire thrower's got an even better, even more reliable, even safer pair of hands with the ball. Then we've got Sure Feet on one of the runners, so decent chance of being able to go for it, that little bit more reliably get those touchdowns. And then we've also got one of his linemen has leveled up with block, having caused 2 casualties in their first game, so looking very, very good there. Then he's also got 1 player on the bench. He does have another player on his roster, but they are out for this game, so it's just the 1 bench for the Vampires in this game. He's rocking 3 rerolls, as are the Human Team. The Human Team also has 1 on the bench, so there are some similarities in how these two match up. Human Team, we've got Pro on the captain, as they come with, so very nice skill to have there. Nothing on the thrower yet. One of the catchers has diving catch, so they're even better wide receiver. They can potentially catch those balls that are not the most accurate. This player that has dodge, that's not a skill level up, that is just there to mark that they also have pro, to remind myself as the game goes on, because I've only got the 1 pro marker, so that's for that. And then we've got another, again, Mighty Blow marking on the Ogre. They already have Mighty Blow, so that's not what that is representing. That is representing Bullseye, because they got that leveled up. And then that is all the level ups that we've had for the Human Team so far. You'll also note they are missing a Blitzer, thanks to, not me actually, it was the crowd who annihilated that player, killed them, so that was bloody. And then we've also got 2 gnomes at the end, 2 halflings at the end. So for this game, there was a little bit of a deficit in the points values, having lost that Blitzer, so Connor's been able to afford himself a keg of beer. So anytime he gets an injury during this game, he's going to be a decent chance of getting them back on those KOs. So we'll have to see if that comes back. It gives +1 to your KO rolls, so it could be a useful trait there. Anyway, this game is coming this Friday, so hope you're keen to see how this one shapes up. Please do let us know in the comments who you're liking so far this season, who you think is going to win this Friday's matchup. Can't wait to hear from you and can't wait to see you there. And anyway, I'm going to wrap up for this one. See you on Friday for a blockbuster.